try it all you want, but when you stop at the intersection of classic hip-hop and culinary arts, you find FoodDope, the legendary podcast that personifies the culture through conversations with hip-hop influence, executive chefs, restaurateurs, and food influencers.
Throwing up flat like a ref, whipping up bricks like a chef.
Welcome to another special edition in Houston, Texas, of the FoodDope podcast. This is your host, the curator, Nathan T. Rideaux, aka the Professor, your curator of culinary dopeness, your curator of culinary dope shit. And we're here in Houston, Texas today, and I got a special episode, as I said, and I'm sitting here with celebrity chef, CJ Clint Jackson of CJ's Masterpiece. How you doing, Chef?
I'm good.
Very, very, very well. I thank you for coming and joining me today.
No problem. Thank you for inviting me.
I appreciate the invite that I got the other night to the tasting event. It was the first time in my life I've been to an event like that, and I really appreciate it. I started this podcast. This will be episode 6. So it took me a year in the making of planning, networking, getting in the culinary world, learning who's who, whatever. And I'm finally here. It's episode 6, and you're here, and I appreciate it. And let's make it dope, Chef.
Thank you for
having me. All right. So let's, what I usually do, what year were you born, for a frame of reference? Because I speak a lot of music-related stuff, hip-hop related stuff. So for a frame of reference, what year were you born?
1985.
Dope year. I missed the 80s. I really missed the 80s. Yeah, that was my favorite decade, as a matter of fact. Now let's get started on your early days as a chef. Now, I'm sorry, before as a chef, as a kid, who was it early on in your life? Because I'm sure everybody inspired somebody in the culinary world to do what they do. Who was it in your life that inspired you to get started and take that path?
Now, we're going to say actual celebrity or just a regular person?
Oh, just regular person. It could be family member.
My aunt.
Your aunt.
She did a lot of, first of all, I got the hip-hop experience when I'm a church kid.
Okay.
Church kid. So she did a lot of cooking and things like that,
right.
The church ladies.
Right.
Per se.
Yeah.
And I just saw her do that all the time.
Okay.
And then different church members would ask her to, hey, well, can you do this for me or do this for me?
Right.
And I always would go and help her.
Yeah.
I didn't ever want to be a chef.
Cooking
and things like that wasn't for me.
Okay.
I actually wanted to go to school and major in music.
Okay.
My freshman year at Texas Southern University, this is not for me.
TSU.
And found out it wasn't for me. And I just went to the Art Institute.
Yeah. Dope.
And that's how I'm here now.
Okay. Now, you're originally from Houston.
I'm originally from Houston.
Okay. Houston's a special place to me. As a kid, I grew up right over the border in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Okay. Grew up there. I was in Houston as a kid so much every summer. Astroworld, everything. I got a lot of family here now.
Yeah, we miss Astroworld.
Yeah.
That was their season pass.
Yeah. When I moved to Atlanta when I was 17 years old, my senior year in high school, so I had made it back. This is my third time being back in 30 years. I see it's changed a lot. What makes Houston special to you? I have my own ideas, but what makes Houston special to you?
Honestly, it's home, so that's always going to be a special place.
Right.
And the diversity.
Right.
You can go to any little part of Houston, and we call them little towns in Houston.
Yeah.
And it's diversity. Even in cooking,
right.
It's so much diversity.
Yeah.
People ask, do I want to relocate?
Right.
I want CJ's Masterpiece to be known in different places.
Okay.
But I always want to be grounded in Houston.
I hear you. Now, your style is described as a mashup of mix of American Creole, high-end, and modern catering style. Now, I'm familiar. My last name is Rideaux. I'm familiar with Creole.
Right.
Grew up, some of the best cooks in the world, the women in my family. Let's describe American Creole, the mashup that is of American Creole.
Well, when I say that, I wanted to politically hit every aspect and race. Okay. So, funny thing, it's like when you say where you're just Creole.
Yeah.
Some of our Cajun counterparts might think, well, they might just dedicate themselves to African American.
Right.
So I put the American part in there so they know that we can dedicate ourselves to anybody.
Right.
I don't want to single nobody out.
Right.
Because every client can make us money.
Yeah.
I try to tell people, whatever you need us to do, we can do.
You can do it.
We can do it.
Yeah.
And I really mean that. We even tried to pull off an Asian wedding.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whatever you want us to do, we can do it. So, our biggest thing is about elevating.
Okay.
So,
how'd they feel at the Asian wedding? How'd they feel about what you prepared that day?
Some guests guests
took to it pretty
got
well?
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Some guests was like, "This is it's not it."
Okay.
But I mean, hey, that was our beginning stages, so at least I say we tried.
Yeah.
I'm a type of person. I don't want to leave no money on the table. So
I hear you.
yeah, if I can, you want Chinese?
Yeah.
Hey, we're trying to make it happen.
Money make the world go round. All right, let's talk Creole cuisine for a minute. One of my pet peeves over the years, man, is the difference between mainstream media will call Creole dish Cajun. What's the difference between Cajun and Creole? Let people know the main differences between that.
Being authentic to me.
Authentic. Okay.
That's what it is. I can give you an example where we might have something Jeff's Creole or something restaurant.
Yeah.
It's not the same Jeff's that's in New Orleans.
Okay.
Totally different. And I even take it a step further. Popeyes.
All right.
We know Popeyes originated in Louisiana, correct?
Mm-hmm.
To me, the Popeyes here is totally different from the Popeyes in Louisiana.
Right. Yeah.
It's just the spices and the herbs and
right.
the I even want to go further and say the love they put into it.
Yeah.
It's going to be the balance and the difference. You have to put your heart and soul into it,
Right.
to know the two.
Yeah, because I think in Atlanta, there's some Popeyes that I could equate to gas station,
Right,
under the hot lights.
It's a franchise.
They don't put that much care into it.
Right.
Yeah. Like when I was in high school, man, I used to get my lunch money. I went St. Aug in New Orleans. I used to get my lunch money to go to school on a Monday and spend it all at Popeyes after school on a Monday. So I know what you're talking about.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, it's different.
Yeah. Now, what I do on FoodDope, I equate culinary arts to dope classic hip hop. I witnessed you the other day. Your plate colorful, your texture is artistic. Describe the classic hip hop song to you in comparison to the classic culinary plate. What makes a perfect, a dope song?
But you want a classic.
It could be No, it could be anything. It could be anything. I say classic because I'm an old head, and that's what I listen to.
A classic. Ooh, I'm trying to think of an old one, but new age. I'll come back to you on the old.
Okay.
New age is what's the song by the Migos? Stir Fry.
You know that. Yeah.
And I guess because it's talking about. I mean, I don't necessarily think it's really talking about cooking.
Right.
But it's so much cooking elements in the song.
Right.
They in the kitchen. They stir fry.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be that.
Yeah, okay. And they made it work for them because
Right.
I actually heard that song was originally for T.I. He didn't like it.
Oh, wow.
So Migos took it. Yeah. I always have to ask, artistically, was there any attributes that were passed down to you consciously or subconsciously through your bloodline? Anybody artistically in your family could sing, could this and that? Because I believe, I have Zydeco artists in my family. Mm-hmm. I have musical artists, and I started rapping when I was 17. But even other than that, I always appreciated art. Maybe that's why I gravitated now towards doing the podcast on Culinary. I like everything I see. I like color. Everything has color and sound to me. Do you have anybody in your bloodline you think maybe that's where I got that from? Really?
And I can quickly say no.
So it started with you.
It started with me. And I quickly say that because when I said I'm going to be a chef, everybody was against it.
Against it?
I mean, against it. I'm making the worst decision of my life.
Really?
They don't make no money. I mean, back then it was like chefs were, and some people still consider it, that's the help job.
Yeah.
It's not you're not a doctor, you're not a lawyer. But honestly, some years, and I feel like this may be the year, I'm making the same amount as some of the doctors and lawyers are making. Because who do you call for your hiring events?
Right, good.
Who do you promise them for a wedding?
Yeah.
People might spend almost $10,000 on catering.
And you're 6 years in right now. As far as
I actually started my business in 2010.
In 2015.
In 2015, I solely relied on it. Yeah.
Okay. That's dope. So
I solely rely on this.
Yeah. You can't argue with the results either.
Yeah.
You can't argue with the results. That's dope.
Yeah. It started with me.
Yeah.
Now, and I always tell them that, y'all remember when y'all told me no?
Yeah.
Don't go to the culinary school.
Yeah.
Now everybody calling me for this and that.
Yeah.
Y'all need a little loan. So,
Yeah. Now I got a few years on you. I'm 47. So I guess when I was coming up, like I said, I was in New Orleans at the time, and the Ghetto Boys had dropped "Grip It" on that other level. We listened to everything nationwide, like NWA was at the time, Public Enemy. But I think in 1990, I was 17 when I first heard "Grip It" on that other level, and it made its way over to Louisiana to me. Man, we was hooked. That did so much for me to see dudes from the South put out a LP that it had that much impact because it sounded like what the creators in New York was doing. They using the same break beats. Prior to that, we didn't have that sound. Like at your event the other night, you know, in hip hop, an MC, it means master of ceremonies or move the crowd. I saw the way you worked the room at the other night. You was working the room like an MC.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Oh, you did. I pay attention. I'm like, I'm posted up like, hey, kind of dope. And you know, actually, who you reminded me of, as a, you know, I asked you would you categorize, but I was watching your style and everything in your plates. As I said, the color. How you know? Familiar with Hype Williams? He's probably the first most famous hip hop director. Movie Belly.
Okay, yeah.
He can take something so gutter, so street, something black and white, and make it dope with the colors and everything he did. That's why I said, man, I looked at that food. I said, this is dope. And then you mentioned the little plates that you had were Amazon. I think you said it was Amazon.
Yeah.
They might have looked basic, but man, the dishes made the plates look like they were.
Actually, when we got those, I mean, I tried to take everything that we can do and make it pop.
Right.
Let's talk about elevating.
Yeah.
My slogan when I first started my business, my slogan was, "It's not just cooking; it's a work of art."
Work of art.
Because I feel like people eat with their eyes first.
Mm-hmm.
When I ordered those plates, we were actually gonna throw them in the trash. Because I thought they were too small.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh no, we can try to make something work.
Right.
I just tried to not. I just stick with the word elevate. I just try to elevate everything.
Elevate.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a dope word. Actually, that was one of my questions. I had something about elevating because I heard you use it the other night. I say right here, I love how you stress the word elevate. And I say, how did it come to be that you incorporate that word in your lexicon in regards to culinary creations?
Because I just want to do something different.
Right.
Anybody could, prime example, and I keep going back to the other night. We had a short rib and polenta.
Mm-hmm.
Short rib is nothing but beef.
Right.
Polenta is really nothing but grits.
Yeah. Yeah.
Elevate it.
Elevate it.
Take it higher.
Take it higher.
People are coming into the new age of, and I'm always thinking about, what is my next client?
Right.
Our clients nowadays are running to social media.
Mm-hmm.
We spend all these money on websites, things like that. They don't even go to your website first. They go to social media. You can talk to planners and things like that. Girls that are getting married and things like that, they're going to social media.
Right.
So they want to know what's hot. They want to know what Dr. Dre and them had at their party.
Yeah.
They want to know what they had at the Grammys.
Right.
And they'll see this fancy foo dish, not knowing it's the most basic thing ever.
Yeah.
It's just how did they elevate it?
Yeah. Now your title, celebrity chef. What exactly is a celebrity chef? Is it a description meaning you cook for a lot of celebrities, or is it that I just feel like I'm that dude?
It can be two folds. Technically, if you're gonna call yourself a celebrity chef, tell me what celebrities have you cooked for?
Right.
And I mean, in the current sense, if that makes sense.
Right.
Not 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you still could call yourself a celebrity chef.
Yeah.
Quasi. Or you can say you're a self-proclaimed celebrity chef.
Right.
But is that really a celebrity chef? If you're not cooking, if you haven't cooked for any celebrities.
Right.
Prime example. A lot of people don't know. We did Ray J's wedding.
Okay.
Daryl Wilson that sat across from you all at the thing. He actually planned Ray J and Princess's wedding.
Okay.
And we went to LA and did their wedding.
Right.
That's a celebrity.
Okay.
This lady is not a celebrity per se, but she worked for a celebrity. So I consider her a celebrity. In 2016, right before the Obamas came out of office, we actually went to DC, another wedding Daryl planned, and we catered Michelle Obama's assistant's wedding in DC.
Okay.
Michelle Obama was there.
Yeah.
The girls were bridesmaids. They're celebrities.
Yeah.
So that means that's a celebrity. I don't like people calling me a celebrity chef.
Okay.
Because I really feel like I'm just CJ.
You just CJ.
I'm not. I don't be on the hoopla or. Yeah. I'm just me.
And you graduated Art Institute 2006. Let's talk about the experience of Art Institute. What was it like when you first started? Was it everything you expected going in? Like, man, this is gonna be nerve-wracking, this is hard, this is this? Or is it you ready to take that challenge on?
I thought it was going to be a breeze. I'm no lies.
Yeah.
I think I was bored the first year. Because, of course, they give you these basics. They give you this and that. And then you have to then transfer over to, do I want to focus on being a pastry chef?
Okay. Do
I want to be a gourmet chef? What kind of chef do you actually want to be?
Right.
I think my most challenging thing was working with others. I'm more of an alpha type person in the kitchen.
Okay.
And when you have 20-something alphas,
yeah,
it doesn't click. It clashes.
Right.
I always have people tell me now, well, let's go. Can I go to Art Institute? Can I go to Art Institute?
Yeah.
The Art Institute is a little expensive.
Yeah.
And if God didn't bless me with sponsorships, probably wouldn't have went myself.
Yeah.
But we have a community college here called the Houston Community College.
Okay, I saw it.
Our professors that wrote our books at the Art Institute are professors at the Houston Community College.
Ah, okay.
So it'd be way cheaper for you to just go to the community college route.
Right.
And learn from the people who write our books.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Right.
I mean, it makes sense. You get it directly sourced.
Yeah. Now you mentioned earlier coming up you was a church boy. Let's talk one or two songs that you hear. It could either be gospel, it could be older hip hop, it could be newer hip hop. That when you hear it, man, you could be by yourself and you just get that.
I could do two things. And this is current things now. And the first one is PJ Morton.
Okay.
And I know my catering manager gets tired of me every day because we're literally in the office. Like we do work during the week. Yeah. It's not just all about cooking. Running a business, you have to do administration work, things like that. So every time I'm going in the office, Alexa, play PJ Morton. Yeah. And I know my staff is like, can we hear something else besides PJ Morton? I stay playing PJ Morton. Okay. And then also Kirk Franklin, what is that song? Love Theory.
Love Theory. You know that one? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, so those are my two go-tos. Okay. When I go to people's kitchens and things like that, I got my little speaker. Yeah. They're like, oh, you got your little music. I said, yeah. Because I have to be hyped. I have to hype myself up.
I went through a particular time in my life, maybe 98 through 2098 to maybe 2012, 11 or 12, I was gospel. I was in ministry. Mm-hmm. So I listened to so much gospel at that time. It was no rap, no hip hop or nothing. That was that part of my life. But I'm at the point now, over the last few years, I hear number one stunner, and I'm trying to stick my watch out the window so people can see it. When the ice hit the light, it twinkled. Right. So I had to ask that. Maybe I need to leave that one. Leave that alone. Let's talk about one of your influences, Chef Roble Ali. What'd you learn from him as far as influential style or anything?
That I don't have to wait till I'm 50 years old to have a name. And I'm not trying to. You say I can be real. Yeah, be real. I'm not trying to shade any other high-end chefs like Ramsay or Wolfgang Puck. Right. But we didn't know about these people until they was 50, 60 years old. Yeah. Roble was in his 20s on reality show. Yeah. Showing us the behind the scenes. Okay. Like it's not, when you are guests, you just see the pretty plate. Mm-hmm. You don't see the hell that goes on behind the scenes. Right. Y'all was a guest at my event Thursday. Yeah. Oh, I was cussing back there. Yeah. I mean, it was, when y'all saw me running back, oh, they got it. Oh.
You had to backhand anybody?
No, I can't hit nobody. I don't want a lawsuit. But Roble just inspired me so much. From when he was young. Okay. 2, he was African American. Mm-hmm. 3, he had roots in Houston. Mm-hmm. And he was going a place where I wanted to go. Okay. At the time, I think this was early 2000s. Catering was so maintained. Okay. It was the traditional chicken, beef, fish. Right. And I mean just chicken, dry chicken, regular beef, fish. And it was across the board. I wanted the artistic stuff. Uh-huh. I wanted the female laying on the table and you grabbing stuff off of her. I wanted salads literally inside of an ice bowl. Okay. I wanted the art form of the food shown. Okay. Roble gave me that. So I was like, well, he doing it. Oh, I know I can do it. You can do it too. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. That was my inspiration.
Okay. Elevate.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, elevate.
Yeah. This is Nathan T. Rideaux, aka the Professor, the curator of culinary dopeness, and I'm sitting here on FoodDope today with celebrity chef CJ Clinton Jackson of CJ's Masterpiece. Now let's talk about CJ's Masterpiece. What exactly is the whole scope of services of CJ's Masterpiece?
We're a full service catering company.
Full service.
We can do anything from a private event of 2 to our largest event that we've done thus far. It was for 300. We're actually now trying to branch more into the corporate world to get some of these corporate accounts to do luncheons and things like that.
Right.
But we've done it all: banquets, weddings, private dinners. Travel to LA, Miami, New Orleans. Whatever you need, we're there. We can bring in staffing. We can bring in bartender services. Pretty much everything in the culinary aspect, we can handle it.
And I'm telling you, you got to get this guy, get in touch with him, give him a call, email him or whenever you have an event, because I was there the other night and I saw firsthand and my mind was blown. So I want to give it up to Chef CJ for that event. And I'm pretty sure from what I saw the other night, I'm like, man, I bet he's consistent with it too, because you can't
you have to be.
You have to be.
Yeah, you got to be.
Yeah, you have to be. And one thing I ask everybody that comes to the show, man, is like taking my wife out to eat. I pay for good service. I pay for the experience.
Right.
How you feel about good service?
Well, anybody who go out to eat with me, they hate to go out to eat with me.
Really?
My expectations is already high. So when we drive it up, to me, that's where the experience starts.
Right.
From the time you get out your car to the time you leave.
Yeah.
You can have awesome food, but the service is horrible, will you go back?
Right.
Now, you can have mediocre food, but if the service is excellent, you might think about going back. I can't explain it any clearer. Service is at a all-time high for me.
Right.
And I get so upset, and I probably get too upset at the littlest things that the staff does, but I'm thinking about what if I'm the customer?
Right.
And I know how critical I am. So for someone else to be critical on me, because I hate embarrassment.
Right.
That's my biggest thing. And for me to be embarrassed, I'm to 20. I'm livid. So I need service to be on point at all times. I don't care if it's just 2 people. I don't care if it's 200 people.
Right.
We have to treat service consistently. Because out of those 200 people, look who might come back for your business just to offer your service.
Yeah, you're right. Favorite ethnic cuisine? I think everyone I've had so far has said Italian.
Must be, yeah.
I think everybody I've had so far has told me Italian. Yeah.
Well, we all love pasta, so and you can stretch it, so and you can make it into so much different things. So I guess Italian.
When you do your traveling for an event or whatever, when you get to other cities, you click up with other chefs and y'all just have a night out on the town and y'all, or you just all business?
Well, it depends on our traveling schedule. Let me start there. And if we already are communicating with other chefs in that area. So, like LA, we have friends that we know in LA. Right. So, we normally hang out. Atlanta, we have friends in Atlanta. We normally hang out. So, now that we're growing more, we're getting to know different chefs in different cities.
Right.
So, hopefully, once we get there, we can actually hang out.
Okay.
But it always matters of our traveling schedule and what the business days are like.
Right.
Because I have to do the business side first.
Okay.
That's why I'm here. So.
Yeah, I hear you. Now, restaurant ownership, is that something, man, you seem pretty excited, content about about CJ's Masterpiece. Now, is a restaurant ownership is that something that every chef wants to do, or like, nah, I'm good?
Let me speak for myself. There was a time that I wanted to, and this was like within the last 3 years. I actually had an investor.
Right.
My thing was, and I think it's a fear of mine, we always hear about black businesses, and especially restaurants, don't last past the first year. And I always was thinking of putting all this money into this, and we fail.
Right.
I'm not going to say it's a blessing that we didn't go into it, but in a sense, we went through a whole year.
Right.
A pandemic.
Right.
And most of those restaurants that was striving couldn't open back up.
Right. Yeah.
But when you fresh out of school, you think you popping, you think you the it factor.
Yeah,
you think I'm supposed to be my own boss. I'm supposed to go on a restaurant.
Yeah.
And I was going to piggyback on the culinary side. The Art Institute, and I love my school to death, but it doesn't prepare you of owning the business. It doesn't prepare you for the interactions with the clients.
Right.
It doesn't prepare you for you messed up and now you got to refund these people their money back, and they trying to beat you up behind the venue. It gives you your basics of the food knowledge, but you have to actually be in there in the trenches and experience all this stuff.
School of hard knocks. Yeah, and that's a shame. A lot of people have to go through that to learn that.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, but then the strong survive. So then you have to pull yourself up and redirect and elevate. You know what I'm saying? Upwardly mobile.
Right.
Yeah. Now let's talk more about CJ's masterpiece. Now you will travel anywhere as long as the budget's good.
Oh yeah.
Right. One thing I learned the other night when sitting at the tasting event the other night, I heard a lot of people speaking about the challenges you all face. Let's talk about some of those challenges. What are the highest level of challenges you all face? When dealing with clients, it could be when dealing with clients, when dealing with institutional racism.
We have a lot of it.
Really? Give me an example of how it would, in this industry, it would be...
Okay, I'll start with the client one first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wanting caviar on beer budget.
Beer budget. Yeah.
Wanting quail on church's chicken budget.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna break it down for you. Because we see the glitz and the glamour. We want you to give me, breaking it on down even more.
Yeah.
We want you to give me Steak 48 presentation.
Right.
And paying you for Outback Steakhouse prices.
Right.
Always scrutinizing what they're paying for.
Right.
So you can say, hey, so you're getting married, you having 200 guests.
Yeah.
All I want to pay is, and these are real situations. All I want to pay is maybe $3,000.
Right.
Well, let's break that down. 200 guests.
Yeah.
Are you getting math? Because I'm not good. I need you to do it.
Math.
200 guests and you got $3,000. So what's that? 200 guests, $3,000.
And 6,000?
No, if you got 200 guests and you only have $3,000, how much is that per guest?
I'm sorry.
$15 a person?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's $15 a person.
Yeah.
Now go to McDonald's.
Yeah.
There's 4 of y'all in the car.
Uh-huh.
And everybody wants supersize. Whatever the upgrade is. So just by the car alone, you done spent almost $30.
Yeah.
You only want to pay me $15 a person. So I got to buy the product. Pay for the staff.
Right.
Keep in mind, you won't plate it.
Right.
So you have to have an adequate amount of staff for plated.
Yeah.
You got 200 guests. So typically that's like 15 staff people.
Yeah.
Staff people run you a night, they might be $120 a piece.
Yeah.
Pay the staff people. Your china and stuff, all that's not free.
Right.
So that salad fork, that dinner fork, that salad plate, that dinner plate, that knife,
Right.
that dessert spoon,
Yeah.
that cake plate that you want to eat that good wedding cake on,
Yeah.
that base charger plate, that napkin, that chair, that linen. So right there, that's probably your $15 right there.
Yeah.
We ain't even talked about the food and stuff.
Food, right.
And then I guess you just want me to come for free.
Yeah. Get your stuff right, people.
That's my challenge.
Get it popping. Get it right.
And then we as the consumer, we get upset if maybe the chicken was off.
Yeah.
Oh, we flipping out. We want refunds.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you'll send me a long email Monday morning.
Yeah.
You didn't have this, you didn't have this, you didn't have this, you didn't have this. But on the flip side, as the person that providing you the service, you always have to give the people what you promise.
Okay.
You can't promise you heavens and I give you hell.
Yeah.
I can't. And I always try to be upfront. Prime example, we just went through a winter storm here in Houston.
Right.
And we had a wedding scheduled for that Sunday. most of the people across the whole Houston metropolitan area was out of power, out of water, out of all that good stuff. Actually, our kitchen power went out. Because actually, our chef's table was supposed to be in that week.
Okay.
Our kitchen power went out, all that good stuff. So the product that we purchased for that particular bride, most of it had spoiled.
Okay.
It was my duty to be upfront with the bride and tell her, look, if you keep this wedding on this day, we might have to change your whole menu.
Right.
Of course, she panicked. Yeah. And her main thing was, what would the menu be? Not gonna lie to her and told her something right then and there, but I was like, I'm not even gonna do that to you. Let me go to the store to see what we can get, then I can let you know that.
Right.
Because what if I couldn't get the stuff?
Yeah.
Now, then it's my fault.
Right.
I always have to give you what you ask for. Yeah. Me and my friends, we go through this all the time. Just give the people what they ask for.
Give them what they
Give the people what they pay for. That's it. Now, if you want to go above and beyond, that's on you.
Yeah.
But don't give them what they. I mean, give them what they pay for.
Yeah.
Give them
what they pay for.
I'm saying it like this because there's so many people in my own industry that don't.
Yeah.
We sell you at the tasting to get your money.
Yeah.
But at the wedding, we don't. It's like they don't care.
They don't care.
It's the professionalism.
Yeah.
Why do we lack the professionalism in 2021?
Right. Exactly.
I even take it a step further.
Exactly.
And this goes back to our whole Black Lives movement. And I am a victim of it. Why is it, and not even only in culinary, why is it when we go somewhere, we have to tell people, okay, act right now because this is white, we're going around white people.
Right.
Why do we have to do that?
Why do we have to do that? Yeah.
If we're consistent all the way across the board, we act the same with the white people, with the Caucasian people, with the Asian people. Yeah. They all should get great service. Not just the white people.
Not just the white people. That inferiority complex for some reason it still plays.
Even I take it even a step further. Yeah. Going back to what we were saying, trying to get into these Caucasian venues. Right. They're now when we go there, they're wild. Oh, I didn't know y'all was gonna do this. I didn't know y'all was gonna be this professionalism. Yeah. But even on their side, why do the Caucasian people already feel like that before we even step into the door? Yeah. Why? Yeah. Something for you to think about.
That was too deep. Let me change it to these next two questions are going to be related to creativity. Okay. When you were a kid, the first time you had the autonomy to put ingredients in your hands, do you remember what was it you created? I opened a can of salmon and rice and threw some...
It was ramen noodles. And I ended up burning myself. I know exactly what it was. So I still got the scar to prove it. Yeah. It was ramen noodles. I was very spoiled growing up. I mean, I'm the baby out of my whole family. Okay. So I thought that I could do whatever everybody else could do. Yeah. So I was boiling the noodles, and I always would remember them saying, "Well, you have to drain the water out. Drain the water out." And I don't think about it. Why we wasn't just cooking these noodles in the microwave like everybody else doing? But you know how you boil the water and things like that? Instead of pouring the water into the sink, I poured the water onto me. But that's how I know. That was the very first meal I cooked. Ramen noodles. And to this day, I can't stand the sight of ramen noodles. Yeah.
Right. All right. Now, what is it now? Current times. What is it that you know? What is it your current go-to dish that you know? If you're going to meet with a potential client, if I present this to them, I got them.
Lamb chops.
Lamb chops. You mentioned something about lamb chops the other night.
I don't know what it is about us African Americans.
The new trend.
But they love them a lamb chop. But that's what it is. I think, and again, no shade to other chefs here in Houston. Mm-hmm. I was one of the first chefs to do the little lamb chop. Okay. And that every client, it got to a point of I had to tell my catering manager, don't even offer them lamb chops. Right. I'm so sick of getting lamb chops. Yeah. I'm so sick of seeing lamb chops. Yeah. How many different ways can I cook a lamb chop? Yeah. And I found a way. Recently. Okay. Frying it.
What is it?
Frying it.
Oh, frying lamb chops.
Deep frying it. Tastes like a little pork chop.
Really? We're gonna have to try it.
Try it, yeah. Just batter it up. Yeah. Drop it in the fryer.
A little chimichurri on top.
Oh yeah, a little sauce. Look at you, done elevated it.
This is Nathan Rideaux, aka the Professor on FoodDope. I'm sitting here with celebrity chef Clint Jackson of CJ's Masterpiece today. And chef, I appreciate you being here. Brandon, I thank you for making this happen on such short notice. Thank you for your hospitality, City of Houston. I'll be back in Atlanta tomorrow, but I had a blast the 3 days that I was here, and we're already talking about a return trip this year. Now, Chef, do you have anything you want to add, or you want to close us out with?
No, just follow us. Follow us and support us. We're in a competition called the Favorite Chef Competition.
Okay.
It relies on you guys' votes. Voting closes March the 6th, I believe. I believe we're right now at number 11.
Okay.
We're getting a chance to win $50,000 and a full spread in Bon Appetit magazine.
Okay. Bon Appetit magazine. Y'all check that out. Now, what's your IG or your social media handle?
CJ Masterpiece.
CJ Masterpiece.
And then our website is cjsmasterpiece.com.
cjsmasterpiece.com. Appreciate that. And this is, as I said, this is Nathan Rideaux. And before I close out, my last show yesterday, I neglected to mention my other show, my audio drama. I created hip hop's first audio drama scripted podcast, Players from the South. That's Players with a Z. Y'all can check that out on all major and minor podcast platforms. And this show, FoodDope, you can find on YouTube. Just put YouTube in the search or hit Urban Science Media is my channel. I have all my interviews from FoodDope and all my hip hop interviews. It's on Urban Science Media channel. And I'm on IG at The Professor 73 and FoodDope Podcast. And remember, this is The Professor. Y'all doing all right out there?
Yes, we are. Yeah, we are.
Yeah. I'm closing this out. This is FoodDope, Nathan Rideaux. And remember, what's my saying? I done forgot. I done had a good time with the chef today. You never underestimate the weight this culture carries unless you live the life. And I live the life. Peace. International FoodDope. Brought to you by Urban Science Media. Hosted by Nathan T. Rideaux, a.k.a. The Professor. Find us on all major podcast platforms. Follow us on IG at FoodDope Podcast and at The Professor 73. You'll never underestimate the weight this culture carries unless you live the life. And I live the life. We got history.